Namaste. Namaste. Hello. How are you? Sarah Rose Nose here. I'm just shuffling a deck. I'm going to pull some cards. While I'm shuffling, I just want so today we are doing yoga 100%, but it's going to be more of restorative. We'll do some sun salute and a little bit of simple movement to open up the four corners of the body, the shoulders and the hips. And then we'll do some more restorative, maybe even yin-like poses, right? So what yin is restorative yoga with minimal props. And it's not really easy because sometimes if you've ever done a pigeon, we call it sleeping swan in yin, if you've ever done that for 5 minutes, it's not easy to do. It's a different kind of hard, right? Here we go, but I'm gonna, like you can hear this sound. Wait, so I'm gonna ask the question. This is collectively for the group or anyone that will see this, and also for the collective whole. I'm just gonna put the deck in two and then just pick right off. All right. It says, come to me, attracting like a rose, receive abundance, desires. It's a very beautiful card. Come to me. So abundance, receive. And that's what we're doing today in the class. So to do that, you might see my blocks back here. You might want a couple of blocks. If you have a bolster, you might want to grab your bolster. Okay, and I will move. I'm going to move the little mic as close to me as possible. Here we go. And move this back as far as the computer will allow. All right. And I just want to let you know, I do have, I don't know if when you'll see this, but this just came out, My Human. It's my memoir that I wrote. And it's basically like trauma to like now. So we know it all has a happy ending. But it's everything that made me who I am. So the good, bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and the amazing, right? What makes you right, what makes you stronger is what. So it's an underdog story for sure. Not for everyone, but it could be for you. It's quick too. It's pretty small and short. So I know. It was like I was a long time in the making, even though it doesn't like seeing it in print, it's like it's so long. But it was a long time in the making just because it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there like that. But I did it. And so can you. All right. When one of us does it, then it gives you permission to do the same. All right, I'm going to turn this off because I do hear a little background noise with the heater. I do like a little, I make it warm. But here we go. We're going to start off. I'm going to start off in a child's pose. In your child's pose, you might use your props. You might use your yoga block for your forehead. So just getting settled with your knees wide, big toes touch. If this doesn't feel good in your knees or your ankles or your shins, if your bones are like, I don't like this, you can do this variation right on your back, and it looks just like how it is. And you would recline on your back and pull your knees in, hug your hands around your shins while you have the back of the head, the spine, the shoulders, your seat grounded into the earth. Okay, so it would just be reverse, right? In reverse, but on your back. Good, and just take a nice deep breath in. And deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And another one, deep breath in. Deep breath out. And just start to find the flow of your own breath cycle. Inhale through your nostrils. Past your throat, inflate your lungs. Out of your lungs, past your throat, out of your nostrils. And again, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Just a few more breaths in your pose of a child. I'm going to come out of the pose, but you go ahead and stay in it. Good job. Good. Enjoy another full breath in. Full breath out. On your next inhale, come up to tabletop. In your tabletop, hands and knees, wrists and shoulders lined up, knees underneath the hips. You can either have your toes tucked under or bring the toenail bed of the feet to your mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. On the exhale, round through the spine. And inhale, lift and lengthen, look up. Exhale, round. This can be a little bit of refinement here. So as you do this, allow the head to be the last to arrive, right? So as you look up, right, allow the spine to be the first to move. So from your low back, as your head and your tail lifts up, from your low back, I'm going to start to lengthen the tailbone down. Each and every vertebrae rolls up your spine. You can watch me first. And then lastly, the head goes in, right? And then inhale from your low back, from your spine. You unravel. And each and every vertebrae, and the last to come up is the length of the crown of the head. Good, and once again, initiating from the low back as the tail and the sit bones tuck under. Each and every vertebrae, and then lastly the head. Good, and then from the low back, one more time. So I'll let you do this a few more times on your own. You can go a little faster than my cue. And while we're doing this, and while you're kind of refining that movement, you find more of a roundness, right? And a stretch perhaps in that low back. That's what that does, right? When we really start to initiate the movement from the low back first, is that it allows us to find more of a low back and even mid back stretch, right? The lumbar and the thoracic spine. Good. And then find a neutral spine, neither round nor lift. Bring your knees back in space, and it's about 2 inches or so, almost like you're in a knee down plank. If you haven't already, tuck your toes under. Inhale, get really tall from your armpit area to your waistline. On your exhale, settle the arm bones into the heart center. Good, keep that connection. Lift the seat up and back, down dog. Good, bend one knee and then the other, and you're down dog. I'm just gonna take off my socks, but you can stay there. Breathe in. And breathe out, finding that beautiful flow of your inhale and exhale. Good, good. And then offer both heels towards your yoga mat. Nice. Now look forward at your right thumb. Good. Step your right foot forward, and this is where you might use your blocks. So your blocks can come right by your feet, like so. Yeah. Beautiful. So you're in a big bend in your right leg, back leg straightish as you balance on the ball of the back foot. And then step the left foot forward and fold. You can use your blocks in front of you if you need to. Inhale, this could be your halfway lift at the highest level. Your hands on your blocks. Exhale, fold. Press through the feet. It could be a soft bend in the knees to protect your low back. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, reach up. Exhale, fold forward and empty. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. I'm modifying with blocks today. Exhale, fold. Lunge your right foot back. And you might even need to walk your blocks back or bring them down a level. So you're going to have your left knee bent. Left knee bent. It's like a runner stretch, if you will. Yeah. Big breath in. Core is strong. Navel towards the spine. The tailbone lengthens towards that back leg. Full breath in. Full breath out. Full breath in. Full breath out. Good. Both hands come to your mat. Step your left foot to the back of the mat, down dog. Full breath in and full breath out. Inhale to a high plank position. Lower the knees down, gaze slightly forward. Lower all the way down to your belly. Bring the hands down by the side, forehead to your mat. If you need to scooch back a little so your forehead can find your mat. So there's plenty of padding for the softness of your face. Good. On your next inhale, we're gonna start to lift the heart up and then float the legs up as well. Go ahead and reach the legs back in space for a locust pose. Good. Yeah. Tone the belly just enough, navel towards the spine, the tailbone lengthens. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Slide your hands right down by your side. Pardon me. Press down through the palms. And lots of strength here as you press down into the hands. Tabletop to down dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Gaze forward at your left thumb. Left foot steps forward. You can find your blocks once more or without your blocks. You might be on the tippy top of your fingertips here. The second round, you can bend into your front knee and then exhale straightish to all the way straighten your front leg. So you bend and then you straighten on the exhale. Just a few more times, still warming up your body. Match the movement with your breath. And as a way to bring yourself into your body, out of your mind, right out of that thinking mind that, wanders to the future or gets stuck in the past, and come back to that breath, that sensation of the breath at the tip of the nostrils. Next time you bend into your left knee, step the right foot forward and fold. Good. Inhale your halfway lift, either on your blocks, hands to your shins or fingertips to floor. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. You can also do this in a chair. All of this stuff can be done in a chair. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. This time the left foot goes way back. You might be on your blocks if you need hand extensions, right, or arm extensions. And we'll find a little movement here. Bend into your right knee. On your exhale, extend back. Just do that a few more times as you move with your breath. Your inhales forward, your exhales back in space. Yeah, it's nice to use blocks sometimes because it allows you to feel supported in your practice. So that sense of support. There is a whole support system. And it's even the Mother Earth that's underneath your feet, right? Even she's there for you. Good, hands come down, especially when you feel like there is no support. She is right there. She's always there with you. You have a whole spirit team cheering you on. Right? Just like they cheered me on to publish my book. It's like it had to happen. Inhale to high plank. Exhale, lower down. Nice job. So as you lift up, inhale, lift up. Good job. It might be the hands and the arms, the legs, everything for your locust. Nice. Lower your forehead down. Bring the hands down right by your side. In your cobra pose, we're about to do cobra, not quite yet. So if you lift it up, just lower down for a moment. Press down through the tops of your feet. Yeah. And then imagine you have a yoga block between your shins. So from your knee to your ankle, even though the feet are in the shins and the legs are like hip width distance apart. Yeah, let's see. There we go. They're like hip width distance apart. You're still hugged to the midline, right? As if there's like a ball or a yoga block there. So much so, your legs are strong that the knees start to lift up, but the feet still press down. And drive the navel towards the spine, lengthen the tailbone. Keep all of those things, press down through the hands, and then inhale, curl up for your cobra. Okay, hug everything into the pelvis. So imagine you're shortening your head, your neck, your arms, your torso, your feet, your legs, all into the pelvis. And from the pelvis, extend out and get broader, get longer. So get taller to the crown of the head, to the right shoulder, to the left shoulder, right? From the pelvis to the length of the legs, and even broaden your pelvis out, right and left. Good, and then lower down and lower your forehead down, press into the hands, and lift yourself up into your tabletop, and then into down dog. Full breath in. Good, full breath out. Nice job. Good, good. I'm gonna step your right knee and hide your right knee behind your right wrist. Send your left leg back behind you. for your pigeon or sleeping swan. In this, you might use a yoga block underneath your forehead. You might cradle your bolster and kind of just hug your bolster in as you fold. What I'll do here is I'm going to come out of this, but you get comfortable. If this doesn't work for you, you can do the variation on your back, which looks like this. And you can also bring your foot to a yoga block too. Or thread the right arm through the figure 4 of the legs and cradle the back of your left leg. Yeah. And just allow, you won't have your leg up. You'll just bring your left leg down. Good. You ideally want your head on the mat. I'm going to come out, but you guys stay in your variation. And I'll set a timer. And you are in it. A little timer. A little timer here. So I'm going to do some of this with you. Oh, that would have been a great idea, right? To do another sound. Okay. I'm just going to strum my little my ukulele for you. And I'll keep the time. It's about each side will be about 5 minutes. You're doing whatever you need to do to make yourself comfortable. Just find a natural breath for you. Usually I'll play a song for you. And anytime when you feel like there's a lot of heat building in your body, is sometimes that happens. And like a yin or restorative practice, when there's a deep release. And there's a deep release from both the subtle body, right? The auric field, or even the physical body. Just notice that. And you can always open your mouth and just kind of go, you can let it go, let it out. You kind of know what that song is, right? Let's check in the time. Just a few more breaths on this side, about 5 more breaths. All right, I'm gonna slowly start to, if you're on your back, you can kind of windshield wipe your legs right and left. If you're in sleeping swan, when you fold forward, you can go into down dog to counter. So in down dog, you Lift a leg up, perhaps roll it out a little. And then once you come out of your down dog, it's the opposite knee as you bring the left knee behind the left wrist. Bring the right leg back behind you. You might find your yoga block for your forehead or cradle, your yoga bolster if you have one. We've talked about in other classes that you could always make a yoga bolster out of furniture. If you're on your back, it would be that threaded needle again. So left ankle to the right knee, the left arm threads through and you hold on to the back of your right hamstring. Find what works for you, right? It's always it's the same benefits, but you want to find yourself, challenged, right? Because it's not an easy practice. Yoga is quite challenging. And a lot of times people are like, oh, I don't like it because it makes me feel X, Y, Z. And I like to remind people that we have to go through it to get through it, right? So yeah, sometimes it's intense, sometimes it's uncomfortable. And that's what these longer holds are, right? They challenge us or challenge our mind too. But we're supposed to be in this sense of beingness, right? Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Oh, someday I'll wish upon a star. Wake up when the clouds are cloudy. Trust not like lemon drops, high above the chimney tops. That's where you find oh, something. Have about 10 more breaths here on this side. I'll let you know when you are completed. This beautiful sun over the rainbow is very much about that idea of, recognizing when things, your challenges, but knowing that behind those clouds, there is a beautiful rainbow. There's so much abundance. There's lessons that you've learned once you break through, right? And there's so much that we learn from those challenges in life. So maybe even giving just a few last breaths here in this side to just say thank you to those challenges that have made you so much stronger than you are. A few more breaths here on this side. And if you're on your back, you can continue with your windshield wiper legs on your back, which might look like this. If you're on your belly in your sleeping swan, you can find your down dog again and perhaps lift up your left leg and find some gentle movement there. Good. Nice. All right, so if you are on your back, we're gonna roll to your favorite side and come on up to a seat. This next pose is a forward fold, right? In your forward fold, you can bring your feet as wide as your mat is, right? Or as close together as like 2 fist distance, perhaps, right? You can hug your bolster in towards you. You might even use your yoga block for your head as you fold. Just a few breaths as you find your forward fold that's best supported for you. And it could be sitting on a bolster or a yoga block to tilt your pelvis slightly forward. So find that as well, right? So find even a few yoga blankets or even blankets from your couch. You need them. And we'll set that timer for you. And I set that timer. We make a little movement. This might sound like ASMR or whatever. The unzipping. It might be like a pleasant sound for some of us. For some of us, maybe not so much. A few more breaths here. Take about 3 more breaths on this, in this shape. And just very slowly start to come up to a seated position. And bend your knees, and you can take a moment if you're on a block, if you're seated on a block or a bolster, just bring it to the side. Hands come behind you. Windshield wiper your legs a few times. You can do that on your back or seated, as I'm doing it seated. As we're gonna lower all the way to your back. As you lower all the way to the back, you might want to have a yoga block near you. Or your bolster near you and on your, your left side. That's right, on your left side. All right. Supine twist, reclining twist. Pull your right knee in towards you. To pull your right knee in towards you with the block or the bolster on your left side. You can crisscross your right leg over, and you can either recline on the bolster or the block. This is too stretchy for your back, or any low back or sacrum issues. You can always hug the block between your legs and twist. You can have that block or blanket between your legs to help. Good. With any of those supine twist variations that you took, you can either have the right arm up and over the head to stretch out the lymphatic system that's in the armpit area. Just have the palm down, the arm down by the side. So find what feels good to you. Your cervical neck can receive a stretch by gazing your nose over towards your right shoulder. Or just keep your head more neutral towards the ceiling. I'm going to come out of the pose, out of the shape. So take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Good. Deep breath in. And let it go. The card come to me. You just need to relax on your side. Let's see, 2 minutes. Attracting like a rose. Have you ever noticed how in summer, when the roses are at their fullest and their scent is hanging in the air, bees and other pollinators suddenly appear? Pollination happens when pollen from one plant mixes with pollen from another, is transferred from the stigma of one flower to the stigma of another. Roses don't go running all over the place, reaching and grabbing. Rather, they rely on the bees to come to them. The rose is never reaching for the bee. It's never grasping or overstretching. It embraces what it is fully and allows life to come to it. It receives it fully. It doesn't open and close according to who walks by. It opens and blooms regardless. This card is about receiving abundance, rose style. It's an invitation to receive the sweetness of your life, to embrace the magnificence of who you are, and also to open yourself up to the possibility of receiving what you yearn for deeply. To be clear on what you desire, to trust that all that's meant for you wants to come to you. to state your desires out loud and let your yearnings to be known. To ask for what you desire. Don't reach or grasp. Don't strive, control, or manipulate. That will leave you exhausted, parched, and brittle. This card delivers the message that true, sustainable abundance is coming. Connect with your central true nature. Be unashamed of what you desire, and when it comes, relish each minute. What do you desire? What are you ready to open yourself up to receive? How can you attract like a flower? So that's without overreaching. And the second time looking at this card, I notice the bee now at the top of the card. Take about 2 more breaths here. I'm going to bring the card a little closer again so you can see the bee at the top. Right, so that bee, the bee is right there. Right up here. Just attracting. It's like a nice way. It's a nice way of saying like not, manifest, but to allow to do all the things that you need to do to attract, to bloom, and know that you're ready to set your vibration, your intention, your vibration, and then to allow. And the bee is there, and that's the cross-pollination. All things are coming. This is the right time of year for it, where I am at in the year and the time that I'm in. Everything is budding and blooming, right? Right. So you have another side, the counter to this shape is taking that other side, that opposite twist. If you have the block between your knees, you can just go right to that other side. If you're using a block or a bolster, you're just going to take it to the twist to the opposite side for you to use. And as always, you could not use anything at all. Good. Beautiful. And then you find your twist on the opposite side. Perhaps the left arm comes up and overhead. You either gaze over the shoulder or gaze up at the ceiling. Eyes are open or closed. And this next 2 minutes is just in the quietness. Just kind of quiet. A deep breath in. And let it go. And deep breath in. And let it go. About 5 more breaths here. Make any movements that you need as you make your way into your shavasana, into your final shape. And it could be a blanket, perhaps over your body or over your solar plexus, perhaps. So that's your torso, your belly area. Can be socks back on your feet if you took them off. Hands can go out by the side, feet hip width distance. A few more moments here. Fully receive and integrate all the beautiful shapes that you took. Find gratitude for showing up today on your mat, in your body, and in your life. You can stay for a few more moments, or if you're ready, bend at the knees. Roll perhaps to your left side to where your heart resides, or to the side that's more comfortable for you. Slowly make your way out to a comfortable seat. Bring the hands together before the heart. Or namaste, it's more of a greeting, but it's also a way of just acknowledging the same light within each and every one of us, that sameness that we all come from. It's seeing stardust, but as we say namaste, namaste, namaste. A wonderful day. Thank you for showing up for you. Like crawling. That you can be the rose, right? And allow all that you want to attract to come to you. Namaste until next time. See you. Bye-bye.